Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Main Event Interviews. My name is Main Event, and it is January 3rd, 2018. It's a brand new year. You're listening to MSP-Waves Radio, which is part of the Minnow Support Project. You can find the Minnow Support Project on Discord. It's in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server. And of course, we are all members of the Steemit community. And that's what this radio show is all about. And it's a show where we chat and interview and just get to know different people who are using the Steemit platform. We kind of learn a little bit more about them, where they're from in the world, what they're doing on Steemit, and how they got here. And I am, of course, joined by my co-host, Poetic Snake. Poetic Snake, how are you doing?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Maine. I'm doing well. How about you?
I am doing wonderful. And it is a new year, so Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy 2018.
And what a new year it is already. I mean, it's 3 days in here, and wow is all I can say.
It's amazing. Just wow, indeed. Yes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I mean, of course, we're talking about the increases in the Steem price and everything. And I mean, this is, of course, January 3rd, 2018, so that could change tonight or tomorrow. Who knows? But as of today, we've been seeing a lot of all-time highs the last day or so, and it's pretty crazy. The levels it's reaching here already just to start 2018. It's pretty interesting to watch. That's all I can say about it. That's my opinion about it. But what do you
I keep looking at it.
I know, right? It's hard not to watch it.
It's just so unbelievable. But unbelievable. Fantastic.
Yeah, but again, this is the Main Event Interview show on MSP-Waves Radio. And of course, MSP-Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by myself or my guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the material you hear on this show is provided for educational and informational purposes only. I'll add, of course, for entertainment purposes only. Everything you hear here is just our opinion. Always do your own research.
Absolutely.
But we're here to have a good time, and again, we get to know different members of the Steemit community here on this show. We try to put a voice to the profile. It's easy to, of course, read people's words on Steemit, but it's another thing to hear their voice and things like that, and in my opinion, it just kind of adds another layer to getting to know them and understanding them, and you may even enjoy their content more after kind of getting to know them a little bit more through a radio show, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's the personal connection you make with it. A voice does a whole lot. Makes it more real.
And of course, we are chatting along with the audience tonight in the MSP-Waves audience chat room, which again is on Discord in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server. And that, of course, is the home of the Minnow Support Project. And within that, of course, we have a few rooms here for MSP-Waves Radio. And we are chatting with the audience in a room called MSP-Waves Audience. And let's say hello to some of the people in the audience. Do you want to mention a few names that you see, Snack? Or I can do that if you're not looking there at the moment.
I want to start with Gmux. Hey, Gmux. Thank you for joining us. And a great step on becoming a witness.
Absolutely, yes. Gmux has recently announced that he is a witness on Steemit. And if you're not familiar with witnesses, you can certainly do some research on that and look into it and what they do for the Steem blockchain. But yes, so shout out to Gmux, absolutely. And I see UniWisp out in the audience. How you doing, UniWisp? Great to see you here. I see Angel, Mr. Sanchez, or Mr. Viquez on Steemit, and he's actually going to be our second guest on the show tonight. And let's see, Eternorex, good to see you out there, Eternorex. Happy New Year to all of you. And if you're joining us, I see Crystal also, too. I missed that name, I think. But if you're joining us, certainly say hello in the audience chat room and let us know you are listening out there. Another thing I like to do, and we'll do that later in the show once we get a few more people in here, is we'll kind of go around the world and we'll see what country all of you are listening from, because I find that really fascinating to see all the different people and where you're all listening from all over the world. That's one of the amazing things about the Steemit community is we're global, and I can't imagine how I would have ever met or chatted with any of the people that I do now without Steemit. So, and of course Discord and the various communities. But um, well, Sneck, how are you doing, and what new things are you working on in 2018? I know you were recently named a Make a Minnow winner, so congratulations again for that.
Yes, thank you. I'm so excited about it.
And I thought I saw you're doing like a curation thing now. Do you want to mention that real quick?
Yes, I started a little project for January because I won the MAM prize. And the whole month January, I will devote myself to upvoting good content, undervalued content, and just giving back to the community. And I will make a daily post about it, sharing the links and the names of the people I think are very promising for the platform as well.
All right. Well, curation, in my opinion, is always a good thing. So, any support we can give to other people out there who are creating good original content, I think is a good thing. And that's what makes Steemit different, than other social media to me, is you can actually help people, and it's really amazing, just all the different things that can go on with it. But no, that's a great
Absolutely.
idea. I like the little picture you made for it. What does it say on it?
I love your post, right? You
Uh,
got snacked. Sorry, you
you
got
got
snacked.
snagged. Yeah, I like that.
I thought you meant the second picture where she wants to keep people in a cage, but
Oh, no, not that
no,
one.
no, no,
Not
that
that
one.
one. But anyway, yes, no, that's a great initiative that you're doing there. And again, congratulations on the Make a Minnow. And
Thank you.
we'll hopefully have a great year ahead here with the radio show. And so, again, shout out to everybody in the audience that's listening, wherever you're listening. Of course, there's a few different options for listening to the show, so you may not be in the Discord chat, but if you're listening out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Or if you're listening to the recording after the show, thank you for listening and supporting the show. And again, my name's Main Event. I'm hanging out with Poetic Snake. And tonight we have two guests on the show. And our first guest is Big Lou. How you doing, Big Lou? Are you there, sir?
I am here. I'm doing very well. Thank you. Good to be here.
And Big Lou, whereabouts in the world are you this evening?
Massachusetts,
Oh,
Western Massachusetts.
awesome. Well, welcome to the show. And so you're in Massachusetts here in the United States. And it's great to have you here. How long have you been on Steemit so far?
Not very long. I believe it has probably been close to a month, um, maybe about 20 days or so.
Okay, really? So you've been here 20 days, and I remember seeing your introduce yourself post recently, and so it's wonderful to have you here. You're in the Minnow Support Project right now, which is a community for newer users. So a lot of these people here would be probably happy to chat with you sometime, and of course welcome you to Steemit. And what brought you here? Do you remember how you found out about it, or what brought you to the Steemit platform?
Yes, I remember vividly. So I was brought here. It was recommended to me by David Pakman. And David Pakman, who is the host of the David Pakman Show, joined the Steemit community. I'm not exactly sure how long ago, to be honest, but well before me. And he's a personal friend, of course. So the David Pakman Show, I used to work with him. Um, Fans of the show, people who liked my input and the rants I would go on the show, wanted me to do something, and I've been very lazy about that. I've been doing nothing. So the first thing I started doing was streaming myself playing games on Twitch, which is really no big deal. It's really quite easy. I'm just playing a game and happen to be streaming it. And Dave suggested that I come here to Steemit and start producing content specifically for Steemit. And so content about the things I love doing, traveling, playing games, and making music. And so that's what I've been trying to do.
Now, had you been doing those things on other platforms before Steemit, or was this your first time, doing like live streaming and things? Did you do that because of Steemit, or were you doing those things prior?
Um, and the Steemit thing started at the same time, and I thought that I consider the two to be connected for me in terms of the content I'm producing, and I've made a few posts on DTube videos of myself streaming, and so um, any content of any sort before this for quite some time. There, I would occasionally get to talk about music or games on the David Pakman show, but of course, that was a very small part, seeing as how the show is mostly political, current events, media analysis, etc. So, no, I started producing this content specifically for Steemit.
Yeah, and it was similar for me as well. I mean, I had done other radio things in an actual job, but I had never done like live streaming or an internet show or anything like that. It was the Steemit community that did that for me as well. So that's one of the fascinating things I find about Steemit is it for sure seems to be inspiring people to create more, and I think that's a good thing. Would you agree with that?
I do, yes, and of course having your tube attached to it is wonderful as well, and it has definitely pushed me to be more creative and to try and think of ways to discuss gaming and music and new ways to present it to the Steemit audience.
So besides David Pakman, did you have any other friends or anybody like that you knew on the platform, or was David the one basically that got you into it?
I was totally ignorant about Steemit until Dave mentioned it to me. And so after joining, I still don't think that I knew anybody who was part of the Steemit community and who was using Steemit. So it was pretty much just Dave, but I've been making friends quickly.
Now, you said you've been here about 20 days so far, so I'm curious, how was your experience joining and getting going in the first week or so? What was your experience with that?
It was positive. It seems that my introduction post was well received. People seem to like the idea of there being more gaming content and music content on Steemit. Now, let me be more specific. There's content on Steemit, but um, my type of music and the type of music I write and play is heavy metal, extremely, extremely heavy metal, and so people seemed interested in that as well. And yeah, it's been people have been very helpful and friendly.
Oh, there's definitely people out there that enjoy some heavy metal. I know that for sure. So,
Oh yeah.
there might be a few in the audience chat right now. We'll just leave it there. But yeah, I think music is something that does, like you said, it seems like it's well received on Steemit. I mean, I can't speak from personal experience because I haven't put any music on Steemit, but art and things like that. Each category seems to have a little bit of a sub community underneath it, which is a good thing on Steemit. And so music is one that seems like it is catching on. I'm seeing a lot more music related things on Steemit lately, it seems. And so it'll be interesting to see how that works out for you. Now, are you in like a band, or are you just like a solo artist right now, or?
I am in a band. I used to be several years ago in a different heavy metal band. I ended up moving, and when I came back to the area not too long ago, I decided I wanted to start again. So I started up a new band, and we're going to be recording in the not too distant future. We have been playing shows locally here in Massachusetts, and it's been going really well. So that's something I'm excited to share with the Steemit community, and it's going to be a slow process, but hopefully along the way I can share some of what's going on, make some videos and whatnot.
Yeah, one thing I notice people enjoy, and I can say this myself too, is the process stories on Steemit. So like when people show out, they'll put the beginning of the you guys could show yourselves maybe practicing for your band or something, getting ready for a big gig or something, and do a vlog or something like that. I like when people can tell a story on Steemit and you can actually see from the beginning into the end type of thing. And so yeah, I would think a band showing their experience would be a cool thing to put on Steemit.
I'm hoping to do just that, and I'm not exactly sure where we will begin with the recording process, but I'm starting to gather some ideas, and I do think that the process of making our first album with this band
And if you
is
want,
interesting.
oh, sorry, you cut out for a second. Sorry, I thought you were done. Go right ahead.
Or just saying, I hope that that others find it as interesting as I do, and even if they don't like heavy metal, hopefully they find it interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, you do gaming content also and things like that. So I think it's good for people on Steemit to branch out and have a couple of different things that they share. That's just my opinion, of course, but it's good to do a few things. That way, maybe you can get an audience from your music, and then maybe another audience from your gaming, and then vice versa. So that's a cool thing with Steemit as well.
Yeah, I have noticed that some crossover is okay. So, I mean, one of my favorite things to do is travel. I mean, my goals in life are pretty much see the world and pay for that by games and writing music. So if I can achieve that, that'd be great. But I have posted. I noticed that Steemians love photography. They love travel. And combinations of those two. And so over the years, I've taken a lot of pictures. I've gone to many places, and I started posting some of my travel photography, and people seem to be really liking that. So if I can share that, that's great as well. And I love looking at the travel photography from others as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's definitely people that are into a lot of different topics now on Steemit. It's growing, and more people are posting now, of course, especially with higher rewards. But I'm sure that's a part of the incentive there. But it's good to see other people getting into Steemit and people who might not otherwise have found it. Because, like you said, you heard it through David Packman, and it's good that his audience is reaching people and bringing them here because it is a great community. So, what's been your opinion of the Steemit community so far in your first 20 days?
Well, it's been overall very positive, and I'm still learning a lot. Of course, now I'm looking at some of the drama going on with someone named Hygen or something, and I have no idea what's going on. But it's interesting to see that people are passionate enough about this community to that drama like that is stirring up. But generally speaking, I find that the community has been, I don't know, very welcoming and open-minded. Most people seem to pretty much be on the same page. Um, and as far as the Steam dollars and the profit, I mean, yes, that's a major draw to Steam. But if artists, musicians, bloggers can actually be rewarded for their work more than on any other platform, well, I mean, this seems like the place to go.
Yeah, it kind of seems like a no-brainer because I mean, right now, I mean, if you put your stuff like on Facebook and things, you're not going to earn any rewards from that. I mean, it gets you exposure and it gets you advertising, I guess, and things, but you don't actually earn rewards back when you share your content, whether that's your music or your photography or any of those things, right? Do you want to talk a little bit more about how Steemit is a good thing for musicians and people like that? Like what your thoughts are on that? Do you want to expand on it at all?
Well, let's see if I can do that. It is very, very difficult to make money as a musician. I've met countless musicians who in order to make money, music that maybe they're not so interested in, or music that is not their own. And so what I'm seeing on Steemit is that can actually uh, to write the music you want, to produce the music you want, not just music, the art you want, to do, you know, whatever the topic. But with music especially heavy metal, I mean, if my band plays somewhere, 5 people in my band make a total of $100 somewhere, we're thrilled. That's like incredible if we make $100 in a night. So for the money, but it's also not cheap to have the equipment, to maintain the equipment, to record in the studio, to travel. And if Steemit can lessen the burden, said it's a no-brainer. So I think we need to get a larger and I'm working on it.
Yeah, and I can speak from experience. I mean, I'm still a mobile DJ, and I do weddings and things like that, and it's none of that type of equipment is cheap. It's, speakers and all of that stuff. If you do lighting or any of that stuff, it's not cheap, and it's hard to get going in that industry. And it would be cool if, musicians specifically could maybe use the Steem blockchain to share their stuff and get not only exposure but maybe get some rewards for their original music that they're creating. And time will tell if that ends up being the case for whether it's musicians, artists, photographers, all these content creators that are out there. It would be a great thing if somehow the Steem blockchain can be an outlet for them to help them out.
Yeah, it's I know the community is growing at a huge rate, and have to see what happens. I'm going to reach out to the musicians I'm connected with in in my little bubble, if you will, here in Western Massachusetts, and say, well, this is what can happen, and it can be good for you, good for everyone in the community here. So let's try and be on Steemit.
Absolutely. And again, everybody, we're visiting with Big Lou right now. You can find him on Steemit. It's at Big and then dash Lou. I believe Poetic Snake shared his blog profile, but Snack, if you don't mind, you could share that again for us, please.
Just done that.
All right, awesome. And again, everybody, you're listening to the Main Event Interviews radio show here on MSP-Waves Radio, which is part of the Minnow Support Project. And it's, January 3rd here, 2018. And Happy New Year. Let's say hello to some people that may be just joining us in the show and in the audience chat room. So just want to say hello to everybody. Happy New Year is all I could say to that. And we are visiting with Big Lou. And he's a musician, a gamer, traveler, it says, photographer. So that's a lot of things that people can check out on your blog there, Lou.
Yes, thank you, thank you. And I'm new. I'm very new, so there's not a whole lot of content from me yet, but hopefully some things that people will get a kick out of or enjoy.
Now, are there any things that you're curious about with the Steemit platform? I mean, while you're here, because we've got a bunch of people here who are listening. If if there's anything you want to ask or anything you're curious, I mean, we are not experts by any means, but if it's something that we can help you with, we'd certainly like to try. But was there anything you're curious about with the Steemit platform?
Here's something that I know nothing about, and that is the whole witness thing. I tried to look it up briefly today, and I found one article, and it was like right before we went on the air, and it was this huge article, and I didn't have time to read it. But the witness thing is something I'm not really aware of.
Now, I am not an expert in this field at all, and I know there are a couple of witnesses in the audience right now. So I know G-Mux is out there. He's a recently declared witness. I see Crimson Clad's in the audience, so if you guys want to, if you wouldn't mind either pointing out a link or typing out something kind of explaining more what the witnesses role is on the blockchain. I believe they kind of monitor it, and then they have to have servers running to help keep the blockchain going. Is kind of what I understand about it. Again, I'm not an expert, so don't hold me to that. But um, a couple of them are in the audience, so they would maybe be able to just kind of either put a link up to something or something like that. But I know they're a crucial role in the blockchain. I know that it would not function without them. And I
From
believe,
the intro, yeah, from the very little bit I was able to gather before we went on the air, yes, it seemed that they were crucial in some way. So I guess I'll just have to keep reading up on that and witnesses, perhaps, at some point down the road.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Crimson
Snip.
is saying witnesses verify blocks, and blocks are all the data that make up the chain.
Yeah, and they have to have a computer system running 24 hours a day, I believe, in order to catch them at the right time when they get sent to them. So, I'm sure there's a lot to it. It's pretty technical and things like that, and you got to have equipment and things like that. But they're the ones that basically keep it going, from what I understand.
Okay, well, it requires equipment. So as a musician, I have enough equipment to deal with. I suppose I won't aim for being a witness.
Well, you never know down the road. Who knows? Okay, so Bitcoin Paradise just shared a link in the chat, and it says something. It's a what are Steem witnesses and why you should support them. Yeah, I believe. Do we get 30 witness votes or is it 20? Snack. Do you know?
If I'm correct, it's 30.
Okay, yeah. So you can vote for 30 different witnesses at any given time, and it keeps a track of which ones you voted for and things. So that's what each Steemian can do. They can go out and vote for 30 different witnesses, and of course, we encourage everybody out there, do your research about the witnesses. Most of them post on the blockchain on Steemit, their projects or what they're doing. In addition to also running this equipment, of course, they are doing things for the community. So you can check them out, and it's right on the Steemit page in the top right corner. Go under the menu, and there's a thing that says right there, "Vote for Witnesses," and that's how you can do that. And from what I understand, most people on Steemit don't know about that for the most part, and they're not voting for witnesses. So who knows? Maybe this will help get the word out about that. I mean, there's a lot of people who are witnesses, but it'll only show you the top 50, I believe, on the website. But then you do have an option at the bottom. There's a search box, and you can type in other people that you know that are a witness that maybe are not in the top 50 yet, because it ranks them based on their votes, like what they're getting for votes from people.
Okay, I see. So I will start considering uh, witness voting as I learn more about those who are witnesses.
Yep, absolutely. And there may even be a tag on Steemit that they all post under, like witness or something like that. Some one of them might know in the audience, but you'll see people posting, and they might even go trending or whatever. They'll say, like a witness update or okay, Crimson Clad just posted a big long message here, so we'll certainly look into that here. I don't know if I can read it all at the same time here.
I see, though. Okay, that's a big deal. Voting on chain code. That's huge.
Yep.
So there's with great power and witnessism comes great responsibility.
Absolutely right, and so that's
Yep.
why they get voted on and things like that.
Oh, very good. I think yeah, with a little more reading, I'm sure I can have a firm grasp of it.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. And even like I said, I'm certainly not an expert either of the Steem blockchain at all. I've only been on here since May, and I'm just a content creator. I just post things. I don't know anything about the development side of it or anything, but it'll certainly be interesting to see what people create and what they are able to do with this Steem blockchain. It's pretty fascinating what's happening already.
We learn every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Go right ahead, Lou.
I was going to say it just blew my mind after Dave and showed me what was happening on Steemit, and I thought, why would anyone use YouTube again was my thought process.
I know, and it's interesting because I mean, more people are getting on Steemit, but it's still a pretty small community as of today in the grand scheme of things. But it's slowly climbing, and more people are joining. And I still use other social media, but I find myself kind of asking the same question, like how much longer am I really going to keep using, XYZ whatever website, that I might be using for any type of social media. And so, because you've got DTube now, you've got D Live, you've got Steemit, you've got Zapple, you've got all these other probably things in the works, different websites and things that people are going to create using the Steem blockchain. And I mean, who knows? Eventually, you might just use this for all your social media, right?
Maybe. I mean, just imagine if half the users, if half of YouTube users started using DTube and Steemit. I mean, it's right. The community is so small now here compared to that, but I can't even imagine what would happen if it blew up like that.
Time will tell. It'll be definitely interesting. Are there other things as a newer user that you're kind of curious about that maybe we can help you out with while we got you here? Are there any things that you want to mention or things that you have planned on for your blog or anything like that?
Well, I'm planning on doing game reviews and maybe reviewing some older games, maybe games that people never got a chance to play, kind of obscure, oddball games that I really liked. I do understand the concept of Steam Power and the Steam Dollars and all of that. That has been explained very well to me by a number of people. So I would just say to the audience, and I would say, what kind of content do you want me to produce? I'd like to get feedback on that. And that's pretty much it, I think.
Snack, were you going to say something?
Yes, sorry. Yes, I was going to say that I am looking forward to the music part that you are going to share. Maybe you could give us a look behind the scenes, so that kind of stuff like that.
I'm hoping to probably the first thing that will happen with our recording is doing guitars, which is what I do. So hopefully this month I'll start on that, and I plan to go over my equipment and just get footage of me and the other guitarists tracking guitars, and that right there in itself would be get to hear some of the music. So the sooner the better. I'm trying to light a fire under everyone in my band and get things rolling as quickly as possible. But everyone's got jobs and lives and things to do, so it's never easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you certainly got to make time for everything, and that is hard to do in this day and age because everybody's so busy. And, one thing I'll say is don't try to overdo it. I know a lot of I'm sure you may not have done that yet, but some new users, they dive right in head first and they're trying to post every day and they're going crazy and they kind of get like a Steemit burnout, after the first month or two because they're just going too hard with it. And so I definitely wouldn't encourage people to do that. Take your time, try to create some good content that you've put a little bit of effort into, and this goes for anybody listening too out in the audience that might be a new user also. uh, take your time, put out some good content, and maybe at first you may or may not get a lot of rewards, but give it some time. The right people, I think, will eventually find your blog. That seems to be the case for most people, as long as they're putting in some effort and creating original content. That's the biggest thing. They seem to eventually will find a community. And then there's other things like these Discord communities, the one we're in right now chatting, the Peace Abundance Liberty server or the Minnow Support Project. These are wonderful places too for you to go because you can network with these people, chat with them, learn things that you may not know about, Steemit or the blockchain or any of these things. Um, there's people in here who are very helpful and they'll answer your questions if they can, and of course, nobody here is an expert of anything, but we try to help the best we can with what we know. And so it's great to see you here, Big Lou. And we certainly hope you are enjoying your time on Steemit so far.
I am, and big shout out to Menno. He's been incredibly helpful, and a big thank you to you as well. You've been helpful, and onwards and upwards.
I'm curious, have you found your way into any of the other Discord communities, or is this kind of the first one you've jumped into so far?
So far, this is the only one.
All right. Well, there's lots of them out there. I will say that. So certainly keep your eye open when you're checking out other people's, like maybe music blogs. There's probably a music Discord group out there somewhere where there's musicians and things chatting. I'm not sure. If somebody in the audience knows of one, certainly let Big Lou know, because I mean it's great for people to network in communities of like-minded people who are also on Steemit. So I don't know of any off the top of my head that are specifically for musicians, but I bet you there's one that exists, I'm sure, out there somewhere. So certainly keep your eye out, if you're checking out other people's blogs. They may have a link at the bottom or something for a Discord server, and it might be a whole bunch of musicians, and so that's a cool thing too.
I will be keeping my eyes open, and yes, all the time. I'm learning a lot to take in since joining, but right.
Absolutely. Does anybody out in the audience chat have questions for Big Lou or anything like that? We'll certainly ask that before he gets going here. And again, shout out to everybody in the audience right now. It's about 5:36 Eastern time here. That would be 10:36 UTC time. And it's great to have you here with us. I see a whole bunch of people out here in the audience. So shout out to all of you. If anybody's got any last minute questions for Big Lou, feel free to put those in the audience chat. And I wasn't dissing Pal, Menno. We're all friends here. He thinks I was dissing Pal by mentioning other places.
Ooh.
I'm in like 20 Discord servers, so and it's way too many. I was thinking about trimming those down at some point, but no, there's a Discord server for everything you could imagine. I imagine there's probably a gaming one out there too, and I'm a big retro gamer too, by the way. So I would totally be into it if you reviewed old games.
Yeah, I plan to. I definitely do. It's just something I've been struggling with is like, do I review the games and show footage of the games, or do I try to run these old games and record myself playing them? So that's something I'm going to try to figure out. But there will definitely be some of that content coming up.
All right, cool. We'll have to keep an eye on how you do that. So. No, I love old games. That's one of my hobbies too, is collecting old video games. So I'll
I
definitely
like
check that
Pac-Man.
out. You like Pac-Man, Snack? Is that what you
I
said?
do, yes, yes. And Snake. I like Snake too.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Snack, did you have any questions or comments or anything for Big Lou?
Well, maybe he can learn us how to play. Is it the guitar? No, it's not a guitar. I think it's electric. Electric? I don't know the name in English.
How many instruments can you play, Lou?
Yes.
Oh well, I have guitar is my main thing, but I've played some bass, and recently I bought a banjo. So I'm working on my banjo skills. It doesn't sound very pretty right now, but once I get used to the finger picking, I think perhaps I can work my way to some level of proficiency with the banjo.
That would be awesome.
We have a question though from Pensive.
There's a couple questions actually.
Yeah.
Menno asked one first.
Oh, okay.
Menno was wondering if you've managed to invite anybody to Steemit. So David Packman invited you. Have you yet been able to invite anybody else that you or that you know or anything like that?
Yes, so far I have people that I'm communicating with, and that is in the works. So far, I've got one person I have successfully invited to Steemit. I guess I can post her page here.
Sure.
And she is a friend, an artist, and I'm not. Well, I guess you could say I'm an artist, being a musician, but different type of art. So recruited one person, but we're on the way for sure.
Awesome. And yeah, Pensive was wondering if someday your band could perform on the radio. I'm not sure if that can happen, but possibly. You'd have to talk to Rondon about that maybe to see if that's even possible. But I suppose with the right technology, anything's possible.
That would take the right microphone, and yeah, might be a little tricky, but definitely not impossible.
Well, hopefully you guys will get in the studio and maybe we can do the recording on there sometime. I know Crimson Clad does a heavy metal show, so she, who knows, she might be able to maybe someday put one of your shows on there. Who knows, or your songs, I mean.
I have listened to Crimson's show. It's this past Thursday, and the chat was crazy, crazy that day.
Absolutely. And of course, you can find a full listing of all the radio shows on MSP-Waves at MSP-Waves.com. And there's live shows on there every day with people who are members of the Steemit community as the hosts. And you can check out the full schedule again at MSP-Waves.com. And some of them are music shows, some of them are talk shows like this one. And there's a wide variety of stuff now that people are doing for shows. So certainly check it out. You can also find it on Steemit. It's at MSP-Waves for the radio station. And of course, that is a part of the Minnow Support Project. And we are chatting in the Minnow Support Project server on Discord, which is the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server. So if you aren't joined us there, you should certainly come over and say hello. We've got a bunch of people in the audience chat room right now, and that's wonderful to see. Again, we're visiting with Big Lou right now. My name is Main Event. I'm here with Poetic Snake, who's still slithering somewhere in the background. Are you still there, Snecky?
Oh, yes, I'm slithering, all happy.
And it's great to have you all here with us. And did I miss any other questions? Let me scroll back here real quick. Not sure if I missed any or not. Let's see. Don't think so. And if anybody else does have any last-minute questions or anything for Big Lou, certainly let us know. And we have appreciated you all being here. Robin Hutt is here, and he's asking if the show's being recorded. Yes, it is. You can find the recorded version on my Steemit blog at Main Event. It's just spelled with the number 1 in there. And I'll be posting that later tonight. So if you're listening to this live, the show recording will be out later this evening. Thanks, Rondon.
You are a pro.
No, it's great to see everybody here again. Thank you so much for listening. And again, we've been hanging out with Big Lou. He's only been on Steemit now for 20 days. So certainly, if you are interested, you can check out his blog and welcome him to the Steemit community. Show him why it's different here is what I would say. It's certainly much more friendly than I've ever experienced on other social media. And of course, everything you hear on this show is simply our opinions. But I have had a much better experience in the time I've been here, which is now about 7 months or so, than any other social media. So what is your overall feeling on Steemit going forward into the new year?
Going forward, I just want to produce more content, get more musicians on board. Think that the Steemit community is going to grow and potentially grow exponentially. Regardless of how many people I bring on board, I think it's just bound to happen. There's going to be a huge influx of people. I'm excited to be a part of it and get in the door before that happens, learn about everything and help others as you are helping me. So hopefully it's just a great year for everyone involved.
Absolutely. All right, Big Lou, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Are there any farewell words you want to give to the audience out there before we let you go?
Well, just thanks for listening. Thank you for having me. And cheers. Yeah. Horns in the air, head bang. That's all I got to say.
Sneck, do you want to say some farewell words?
Yeah, of course. It was wonderful to meet you and very interesting to learn more about you. And I'm looking forward to following you around on Steemit.
Likewise.
Thank you.
All right, Big Lou. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you want to keep listening to the show, you're certainly welcome to stick around. All you'd have to do is mute your mic if you want. And you're certainly welcome to stay. If not, have a great evening, and we certainly will be checking out your blog in the future. And I'm also interested to hear your music and to certainly check out the gaming stuff that you might be posting. And again, welcome to the Steemit community, and we'll certainly see you around the chain, as I guess they might be saying.
I'll be staying and listening. Thanks.
Wonderful. Again, everybody, you're listening to the Main Event Interviews radio show here on MSP-Waves Radio, which is a part of the Minnow Support Project. Again, you can find out more about it at mspwaves.com. And thank you to Big Lou for joining us tonight. That was a great interview. What did you think of that, Sneck?
I loved it. Maybe we can have him again.
Absolutely. Again, this show is open to anybody, more or less, that wants to join us from the Steemit community and jump on and talk and just kind of let us know more about you. Part of this show's goal is to put a voice to the profile, to just add another layer so that when you're reading somebody's blog afterwards, you'll kind of have a better understanding of maybe who they are, why they wrote it, and just the personality that's behind it. And we have had people on this show from all over the world, and of course the listeners are also from all over the world, and that is amazing to me. I find that so fascinating and interesting, and it's wonderful to have you all here tonight. It's about 47 minutes past the hour, according to the clock I'm looking at here. And so that means we've got a little over an hour left of the show. And before we bring our second guest on the show, let's chat with the audience here for a moment and see who is all in the audience.
I see a whole lot of names.
Okay. So, if you're listening out there and you're able to chat in the MSP Waves audience chat room, let's do something here. Go ahead and type out the country that you're listening from. I'm curious where everybody is in the world this evening, all right? So you don't have to say like your town if you don't want to, but just put the country there if you don't mind, and to actually type it out. If you want to put the flag too, that would be great, but please type it out, and we'll see where everybody's from. And if Sneck, if you don't mind reading those off here, I'm just going to refill my water cup here real quick.
Okay. Well, we have done stuff from Australia, Angel from Bulgaria, Soundwaves Photon US, Robin Hood is from Denmark, Rondon, he is not from Pakistan. Hi, we have Crystal from the USA, Wahilib is here as well from the USA, the Kitty Girl also from the USA, and Pensive from Windy and Wet Wales. Oh, I see so many weird names. I cannot pronounce them. Menno is from the Mayan Empire. Okay, he is there. And Gmax from the lovely England. I am from the Netherlands. Maine is from the USA as well. All those different countries. That is amazing. Isn't it marvelous that you can chat with people lifetime while there is an ocean between them? And Mr. Sanchez is also from the USA. And Jack, Belgium.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Look at all the countries. This is amazing. I need to go back and make a list or something. Or if Sneck, if you want to, you could even do that for me if you want.
They
Put
were
you to
they
work.
were toying with me again.
Oh yeah. Oh, putting
Yeah,
different places.
yeah. So mean.
That's okay. It's just in good fun anyway. I'm just curious
Absolutely.
to see all the different countries. To me,
Yes.
I mean, I'm from the US here, so anytime I'm chatting to people from around the world, to me is just really interesting and really cool. So, I would not have be doing that otherwise without Steemit. So, I find that really cool.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, Menno, I'm from America. And again, welcome everybody to the show if you're just joining us, or thank you for joining us if you've been here from the beginning. Thank you, thank you. Again, if you've missed any of the show, I will be posting the recording on my blog tonight, and you can check that out if you'd like, and feel free to re-steam, as I would say. If you're interested in being a guest on the show sometime, certainly send me a message on Discord chat or steemit.chat. You can also send a message to Poetic Snake if you'd like, and we'd be happy to have you on the show sometime. Even if you've already been a guest before, I don't mind having you back on. And if you've got a project you're working on, or if like maybe Gmux, he says he just became a witness, people who have things happening in their Steemit career that they want to talk about, you can certainly hop on the show sometime and let the community know. And it's great to just kind of get to know you all too, learn a little bit more about you. Like I said, this is kind of the point of the show. It's just to chat with people and get to know them better. So let me read my little disclaimer thing one more time. And again, we appreciate you all listening. We do this show every Wednesday. So it's every Wednesday night. It's 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or it's 10 to midnight UTC time. And again, you can listen to us on MSP-Waves.com. And we appreciate everybody who joins us every week for this show. Of course, MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by this talk show host, which is me, or my guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the material you hear on this show is provided for educational and informational purposes only. It's, of course, just our opinions. Do your own research. We are not experts of anything.
What did you eat for lunch today? Did you perhaps had a taco?
Why is that?
I don't know. They want you to say that word very badly.
No. Why is this happening?
I have no clue. They just started it and they want you to say it.
You guys have gone off the rails here. It's funny. So let's see here. We need to get our next guest on the show. So let me see if he is here still. Are you still here with us, Mr. Viquez?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, Mr. Viquez. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I am doing great. And whereabouts in the world are you this evening?
I'm in New York.
All right.
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. So is it cold there today? Because it's freezing cold here.
I mean, for us, it's a pretty good day. But a couple days ago, it was a lot colder, and it was a lot of snow coming down. But we're used to that over here in Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm up here in Maine, and we are definitely below 0 Fahrenheit, and we have been for like a week. So we're basically a frozen ice cube here. But yeah, no, it's great to have you on the show, Mr. Viquez. And how long have you been on Steemit so far?
Well, I've been on Steemit a little over 6 months.
6 months, cool. That's about the same as me. I think I've been here about 7. And do you remember what brought you to Steemit, or how did you ever hear about it?
I heard about it on YouTube through a couple different YouTubers, and the first time I heard about it was last year. And to be honest, I kind of let YouTube commenters steer me away because all I saw was comments calling Steem a scam. Last year, well, I'm talking 2016, not 17. And so I never signed up. And last year, around May, uh, Jerry Banfield, which a lot of people in here probably are very familiar with, um, he started talking about this super secret coin that he's investing all of his money in, and I was like, you know, this guy, I'm not saying he's an expert because he's not. Nobody really is. But he's made some good calls like with Dash. He made a really good investment. So I seen another YouTuber kind of spill the beans on him and let everyone know that he just invested like 15 grand in Steemit, and I just signed up.
Yeah, and we actually had Jerry on the show a couple weeks ago, and we interviewed him. And people always have different opinions about anybody on Steemit. So regardless of your opinion of anybody, he definitely has brought a lot of people to the platform and gotten it some visibility. So I also found out about it from a few other YouTubers on Steemit, or excuse me, people on YouTube talking about Steemit. And so it's interesting to me just to hear everybody's story of how they find they were here. Now, before Steemit, had you been a blogger or had you been a content creator before it? Or what were you like? What inspired you to want to use it?
Well, I was never a blogger or a blogger. I mean, I've always been. I'm really heavy into music. I've always made music, but never as far as me picking up a camera and talking into the camera every day. That was never my mo. But I've been in crypto since 2013, so I've always been speculating and you know dabbled and dabbled. Sadly, I can say I gambled 2.5 Bitcoin away in 2013, and that was kind of like my introduction to it. And the beginning of last year, I just saw the interest of people actually wanting to be involved. And I'm just like, yo, it's now or never, and I just haven't looked back.
No, that's great. And so, what are you using Steemit for now? So you've been on here about 6 months now. What types of things do you like to post about on here?
I post about really, I like to be kind of like a image for the regular person, no matter where they're from, no matter what type of background they have. It's okay for everybody to be involved in crypto. And before me, I never really seen like regular people talking about crypto, and uh, people that kind of inspire me that I've known and seen that do YouTube videos for crypto have been like Craig Grant. And the reason why I bring him up is, you know, I'm not black, but I consider myself black. I'm Puerto Rican. We get the same treatment. Um, and I honestly didn't see any brothers, any Spanish people, it was just always, and it's not a race thing, I just wanted people to feel comfortable. Like it's okay. Where I'm from, people kind of look down on you if you're into certain things. And I wanted to change that mindset and say, hey, it's okay, to be into crypto. It's nothing wrong with it. This is not just for what people call nerds or geeks, because that's what a lot of people think. I mean, 6 months, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed because now on my Facebook timeline, I'm seeing people talking about crypto and Bitcoin. And it's like mind blowing to me because I was always the person that said if I walked outside and asked 10 people about Bitcoin, nine and a half of them would say that they never heard of it. But today, it's almost the opposite.
Yeah, it's certainly getting more mainstream attention, that's for sure. Depending on where they get their news and things like that, it's certainly at least getting mentioned now. And it's certainly getting a lot more publicity. So it'll be interesting to see how the year progresses for everybody that's, into the crypto world type of thing. Um,
So, on Steam, when it comes to kind of like Steam it, I kind of just been documenting my journey. You know, definitely giving people. I've started a couple different projects, but mainly it's just a message to the people to let them know that it's okay to be in crypto, and we all have to do our research, and no one here, you said it perfect. No one is an expert because this is something that was born less than 10 years ago, and we all have a lot to learn.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed specifically about Steemit is it's so unique for each person. Each person is going to join Steemit. I've said this before, at a different point in their life. They're going to have a different perspective on what it's supposed to be, why they're here, that type of thing. So every person is going to have a different experience when they join Steemit. It's not going to be the same for the same two people. And that's one thing that's really interesting, and it is what you make it, in my opinion. You got to put in a little bit of effort. You've got to do some research, and once you understand that there's a big community behind this, then a lot of doors will open for you. Now, what's your overall experience so far with Steam? How would you describe it?
To be honest, it's just been kind of mind blowing. Like, I'm still, as well as many other people in here, in shock with just what's occurred within the past couple days. Um, and thanks to God and the Steam gods, I'm able to actually live off of my earnings on Steam. I haven't had a job in since July. I mean, I didn't quit my job. I got fired. That's a story for another time. But I definitely got fired, and Steam definitely had a part to play in that. But it worked out for the best.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Hey,
It's
I'm not sorry.
it
You know,
well, and that's where I was going to go with it. It seems like it happened for a reason, kind of thing. And so if it's working out better for you now, then hey, it is what it is. People have some mixed opinions there in the audience chat about working. But Steam, it is your job though now. And it can be. I wouldn't encourage it for everybody to quit their job, of course, definitely not. But now if Steam stays at these levels, I mean, you're talking now people could earn a nice amount of rewards from this. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens going forward. And of course, results may vary. I'm not saying that everybody's guaranteed to get rewards at all because you might get nothing. Always do your own research, and everything's going to be different for everybody. But again, if you're putting in the effort and you're creating original content that people enjoy, there's a high likelihood that you're probably going to get some rewards for it here on Steemit. And it's interesting to hear you say that it's kind of helped you through this time that you've been in transition, I would say. And do you want to talk about that, like how your time has been spent now versus then, maybe where you're using Steemit more?
I think I use probably Steam it in the beginning when I first got on it. Of course, I went Steam crazy and try to post as much as I could, like 3, 4 times a day. But now I'm definitely into a much better rhythm. And I spend a lot of time with my family. Um, I'm now starting to go to the studio more, and it just gives me a lot of freedom to do, the things I want. And I see the long term play here, and Steam Power and Steam in itself. Anything can happen. It can go down, but I kind of really don't see that, especially for what's planned for this year. So it just really gets me really excited to see what's in store for the future. And right now, my main concern is trying to get as much Steam as possible.
Absolutely. And of course, as I always say, everything you hear on this show is just our opinions, do your own research, all that good stuff. But this is just our experiences and our thoughts and opinions on it. And so we're happy to share it with you. And we hope you're enjoying the show so far. Again, we're visiting with Mr. Viquez. And I've shared his blog link a couple times in the chat. So certainly if you're interested, you can check out his blog on Steemit. And it looks like you've been doing some, you do vlogs as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's basically like the majority of my content will be vlogs. Sometimes I'll go live on YouTube and put the link in a Steemit post. You see me on DTube. I've tried different formulas, but it's mainly been vlogs because I tell everybody that the advice I give anybody that starts on Steemit, there's no mistakes unless you blatantly do something really foul. But just get in where you fit in. Try different things. If something's not working for you, try something else. And once you see certain things working for you, you kind of just go with the flow. And I definitely didn't think I was gonna be vlogging. My first post was an article, and my second post was like I think I put an article of no, I put a video on ESPN of them talking about LeBron James, and I spoke about it very very briefly in the post, and that didn't work. Then I said, well, you know what? Let me see if I speak a little bit about myself in a blog. Will that work? And it did work, and I got me a nicer reward. And I noticed that when you're a little more personal with your audience, people tend to gravitate towards that.
And how do you keep finding inspiration for your vlogs? Because I vlog myself with Snacky, but sometimes I find it hard to find a subject to talk about. How do you do that?
To be honest, I think it's the same for everyone. You know, hold on a second. Let me get some better. Hold on.
No problem. Again, everybody, you're listening to the Main Event Interview Show here on MSP-Waves Radio. We're visiting with Mr. Viquez right now. Earlier in the show, we had Big Lou on with us, and if you did miss that interview, you can catch the recording later on this evening on my profile on Steemit. It's just spelled Main Event, all one word, with the number 1 in there instead of the I. I'll post that in the chat later at the end of the show. And again, it's great to have you all here with us. It's a little after 6 o'clock here on the East Coast. It should be a little after 11 o'clock UTC time. And we are happy to have you with us here on MSP Waves Radio.
Hello.
Still here with you.
You,
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. I find that, and like I said, this might not be the same for every single person, but I find the easiest thing is to just pick up a camera and speak into the camera. You can speak about your day. I like to really talk a lot about Steam, and it's kind of like that iffy subject of, well, why are you just talking about Steam on Steemit? I also try to bring in people from the outside, people on YouTube that are looking for good investments because, I don't see myself as a new crypto person, and there are tons and tons of brand new crypto people that come in uh, and they are putting their money into these sketchy programs and losing a lot of money. They don't know how to, research a coin before investing into it. And Steemit does that. Steemit solves that problem, and you don't have to put $1. Just you don't even have to sign up. Anybody can go and watch any video on Steemit. You just won't be able to comment, but there's tons of information. If you don't know where Bitcoin came from, if you want to know what a wallet is or what a white paper or what things you should look out for um, in an ICO. And, obviously these are all opinions from different people, but you get a broad sense of where you should be standing um, in the space. So I feel, you know, all of us here have that potential to just pick up the camera and talk about Steam to the people on YouTube.
Absolutely, and of course now there's even other outlets with DTube and things like that, and so videos and vlogging I do find really fascinating. I tried to get into it a little bit, and I still want to try to do more of it. We've been trying to do some live streams lately and things like that, where we kind of just chat and do some curating and things. And I personally would like to do some more vlogging too, and I know Poetic Snake does some vlogs. and we joined a group with Sir Lunch, the host, and we do a vloggers guild in there, and a lot of people are posting vlogs in there, and it is cool to see people, and like this radio show adds that personality to the profile, and then videos do even more. When you can actually see somebody's face, see the environment that they're in, the things they're doing, things like that, I do find that really entertaining. And so for me personally, I like seeing that type of content on Steemit. So, and that's of course just my opinion, and everything on this show is just our opinion. But I really enjoy it, and it seems like other people do as well. So I say keep it up with the vlogging and things like that. Have you been getting some pretty good feedback from it from the community?
It's I'm gonna keep it real. It's a little mixed, you know. Certain people do give me good feedback, but there's also a lot of like what I would call spam comments. You can just like directly tell that this person didn't even watch the video, and it's been like that since the beginning, and I feel like eventually that will change, and we're always probably gonna have that element. But I definitely get some feedback. I've met some great people, especially connecting Discord with my Steemit. Getting to speak with people here, and it's been a great experience. I've met some very good people and people that have taught me a lot. And but on the feedback, I see I tend to notice that when I write out a blog, I get way more feedback, and I feel it's because people tend to read, and that's another little tip for anybody here who's new. I believe that the Steemit ecosystem, they love articles, especially original stuff. Even if it's a make believe story that you just made up off the top of your head and you really put your heart into it, you will definitely get feedback because people are going to take the time to read it.
Yeah, and I mean, it might not happen right at first. Your first few posts might not get very many views and things like that, but just keep posting if you're new, and just keep grinding away. And hopefully, somebody will eventually catch on to your content. They'll re-steam it, and then it just kind of snowballs from there, it seems like. And that it took me, I think, almost like a month to really get going and get into the groove, and before I really discovered any of these Discord communities or any of these other things. So, I mean, don't, if you're somebody that's new and listening out there, don't feel pressured that if you've only been here a week or two, that you're only getting 2 cents a post. Don't worry. Just keep posting, and just kind of enjoy Steam it for the community first. I know that's hard to do because there's of course the rewards out there lingering, and you want to get those, but try to enjoy the community first, and then I think the rewards tend to come after that. Like after you've networked with some people, you've left comments, you've done your own curating on other people's content, that type of thing. At least that's how it was for me. I don't know how your experience was at first, like when you first joined. Uh, do you want to talk about that, like how your journey kind of progressed from the beginning to now?
It's honestly, I feel blessed every day, to be honest, because I know my situation doesn't happen to every single person, even though I've had some ups and downs, but it's kind of been a locomotive train ever since I stepped on the platform because I caught the eye of certain people, and I feel like anybody in here has that opportunity, and it's just take the time to sit down, close the laptop, and think about what it is that you want to offer uh, the Steam ecosystem, whether it's just a service, entertainment, whatever it is, and it's possible. It's possible with dedication, and if don't really think about the rewards in the beginning. Just best tip I could give anybody is just post every single day that you can. Don't let it meddle with your personal life, but let it become part of your life. And just as much as people spend all day on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and who knows how many other of those social things is out there, we could do the same thing here on Steemit.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, a lot of these things are still, of course, in development and they're still getting going, and we're still in beta with Steemit too. So, I mean, it's still a work in progress, of course, but uh, I certainly enjoy it, and I hope other people are able to find it as well. And I want to see more creative people joining the platform who are out there. You know, they might be struggling and they're not able to get anything for their content currently because they're trying to do it with other platforms and things. And I'm hoping that more of those types of people will find Steemit, and it will just kind of continue to grow and grow from there. And then of course just your everyday user as well. That's the kind of subset of the community that I don't know how they'll adapt to the Steemit community though, or the people who they're very casual with their other social media. They don't really post a lot of pictures and things like that. So I don't know if Steemit is necessarily for those people. I don't know. Again, that's just my opinion, but it'll be really interesting to see how the general public, if they do adopt Steemit into their lives, which people end up being the ones that use it. You know.
Um, I mean, I'm not a prophet, or I can't tell you here that, I could tell the future, but have a big feeling that, you're gonna get really probably like two or three different types of people. You're gonna get the people that just rush in and don't really know what they're doing, and just wanna try to scam the system some way. Then you're definitely going to have the investors, and they're already here. There's tons of them that see the Steemit platform as solely as an investment purpose. And I think it's a great investment for anybody. Just like my main event said, that's just the opinions of myself. Um, and then you're gonna have the awesome content creators. People that will turn my vlog and make my vlog look like a kindergarten person did it. And that's why I feel like I'm in a rush. Because the landscape is gonna change, and I feel like Steemit Inc. is doing a great job to kind of help everyone at the same time that's been here during the beta version with the making SMTs and communities. So things are looking up. But I feel like those are the type of people that are really going to be in here. And if you don't feel like you can be socially active on the platform, then you can look at Steemit as an investment. Putting your dollars in a bank, really doesn't gain you anything. But $50 can gain you a little bit every time you upvote somebody, or anytime someone decides to upvote your comment. And everybody in here can afford $50. $50 is not a lot. I mean, depending on what country you're from. I know there's different countries in here, but $50 is not the hardest thing. That's all it takes. I started with $40.
I'll go ahead, Snack. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I just think it's amazing that even if you want to invest or start being an investor, I mean, I invested in this platform, not a huge amount, but it's amazing that you can be a little investor and still see profit now and then, and have something other than your bank.
Right, and I mean, we have to reiterate, of course, we are not financial experts. Do your own research. We are not giving you advice.
No,
But
don't listen to me.
I'll say I haven't put any $0 into Steemit yet, and I've managed to get over 1,000 Steam power on my own, just doing everything that I've done here. So I
Congrats.
mean, I can say that it is possible. I mean, and it wasn't easy though. I put in a lot of work to do that. There's a lot of hours on the computer and everything to get that. So I'm not saying it's super easy or by any means, but it is possible. So, there you go. I mean, we each kind of, again, everybody's going to have a different experience, and that's the beauty of Steemit is you literally can start from nothing and work your way up, or if you want to put money into it, that's your decision, your prerogative, but you can do it either way and be successful if you just try. You have to put in some effort, and not everybody will be successful because they'll either quit too soon, or they'll just they'll get discouraged or something like that, or like you said, they'll try to be scammy or post plagiarism or something, and they'll just get flagged to nothing because the community watches out for that stuff.
Yes,
if you're out there doing that, you'll eventually, the community will find it and downvote it, I think, eventually.
you will get
Um,
your flags.
so don't do it.
No, don't do it.
Post original content, things that you created. People want to see that type of stuff. Like you said, they want to see you, the personal side of it. They don't want to just see something that they could see anywhere else on the internet. That's what's the point of that. So,
Yeah, I definitely agree with all those points. And the biggest thing too is there's always a downside to everything. Not everything is shiny gold, or matter of fact, the saying is not everything that glitters is gold. And there's gonna be times where you'll feel like you're wasting your time. And I've heard tons of people say, I'm gonna, they'll just go right back. They'll stop steaming, and I'll see them. And these are people in real life that I know, and I'll see that they're posting on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, it didn't work out for you on Steam. You didn't earn that much, but you earned something, you know. And on Facebook, you're earning absolutely nothing unless you're like this big time marketer and you're selling things on Facebook, and I don't want to down talk Facebook because it has definitely been a big instrument in my life in the past, but nobody here is making bank on Facebook, and people tend to just give up really easy, and I want to tell you all, don't give up. I've seen people in the comments saying they have 13 steam power and 28. Well, guess what? Next month, I guarantee you, if you continue being active on the platform, upvoting and commenting on people's stuff, and even making your own content, you will have way more than that. I remember when I first started and I got my first uh, 100 followers. I made a post, I think, about it, and this one guy put a comment and he said, "Yo, don't even worry about your 100 followers. You're gonna have thousands of them one day." And 7 months later, almost 7 months later, I have over 2,000 followers, and I never, ever in my wildest dreams expected me to have this type of following. And it's possible for anybody as long as they stay dedicated and don't give up no matter what.
yes, I couldn't agree more, and that's really what it is. Big Lou says steaming ain't easy, and I totally agree. It's not easy.
Absolutely.
Um,
I think. Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go right ahead, Snick.
I think the hardest thing is when you start and you see everybody getting, nice payouts, and you have to struggle to be seen. The hardest thing on Steemit, I think, or at least was for me, was staying put on your place. Keep going whenever you feel like this little beep in your head that tells you to stop. You just need to go on, and that is hard. That is hard. But if you go through that point, you will just have a good time.
I kind of wanted to touch on this really quick. Um, to all the users that started like 3 months ago when SBDs was just $1, you know, and if they didn't cash out ever, by the time what month was it? Was it the end of November when it really started to spike SBD?
Right.
And everyone could have had a major, nice return on the investment of their time. The same thing is still possible today. If everyone who has a regular 9 to 5 job, a regular life, doesn't really need Steemit for the income, you can post content, upvote, all the above to earn, and just let it sit there. Just let it sit there, and I guarantee you, one day you'll see, oh my God, my 3 SBD are now worth X amount of dollars. It happened already to a couple of close people that are in my family, and my son, he's 13 years old. He posted one post in the summertime, and he got 89 Steam bucks sitting in his account, and I'm in the middle of a live stream, and all of a sudden, I'm like, it just dawned on me. I said, hold on a second. I said, my son has 89 Steam bucks, and I showed it on the live stream, and it's definitely possible. Like back then, 89, that's $89, and
Right.
now he has like $1,300 of Bitcoin, and it's possible with every single person. Like I really believe in this platform 100%, and there's no way that. And remember, this is my opinion. I guess I'm forced to say that here. Um, but I believe Steam is highly undervalued for the things it can do and the knowledge it can spread, to all the people that are brand new with crypto.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, of course, this is all just our opinion. So, yeah, we should say that again. But, we hope everybody out there who is maybe listening to this and you're just kind of curious about Steemit and you're just getting going on it, just try different things on the platform. If you're posting all the time and you're not getting rewards, just take a little break from it for a few days. Don't get the Steam it burnout, as I like to call it. Because that definitely can happen. If you're trying to go too hard, too fast at the beginning, it's easy to do because you'll put out all your content that you've got on your mind, and then you don't have any followers yet, and you don't have people who are even going to see it. So you don't want to put everything out there right at the beginning. You want to just slowly, like you said, post once a day or so is a good amount, I think, at first, and just get your blog out there and try to make some connections in these Discord communities. Are you in any other Discord communities, Mr. Viquez?
Oh man, I'm like just like you, man. I'm in like 1,000 different discords. I have my own Discord. Well, it's not really my own, it's mine and a group of other people. But yeah, I'm definitely in a lot of different discords.
Are there any? I always try to give people an opportunity if there's any other Steemit users you want to give a shout out to, or other groups or projects you want to give a shout out to while you're here.
Yeah, well, I don't know if anybody knows, but a couple months back, me and a group of other steamers, we try to put together a music entertainment group. It's called Five Star Entertainment Group. The link is a five-star group. And it's basically us, couple artists, and we put some music that we've made, and right now we're just trying to build the account up to where we'll be able to fund any musical project that we have, whether we want to do a music video, record an album, uh, do a movie, take a trip, and things have been going pretty good. Uh, uh, one of my partners is actually in here. His name's Bitcoin Paradise. He's a very great person. He actually has been here way longer than I have. He has a lot of knowledge on Steemit. He's been here since basically like almost the beginning, a little bit after, but um and yeah. Oh yeah, and I also have like a sports thing going. It's called Primetime Sports. That's it's pretty good, if you guys like football right now. We have people can come in and it's almost like a football pool. I guess people around the world call it different.
Yeah, and if you
But
want, you can. I don't know if you have different like profiles for these things or whatnot, but are they all just on your blog or?
um yeah, BP, can you do me a favor? Can you put them links in the chat for them?
Right, and that way people can check those out if they're interested. Yeah, no, that's cool that you guys are doing all those different things, and that's one of the another beauties of Steemit is you have a wide variety of different things that you can do. You don't have to only post about one type of content. You can do a wide variety of things. So if you're somebody out there, maybe you're a photographer or something, and you're not getting a lot of views on your photography, but you also write poetry, let's say, or something, try something different. Wouldn't you say people should do that?
Yeah, yeah. And it's just not like like you said earlier, not everyone can make content, but you might know somebody that, can do great content, and maybe you have a great job and you can finance some type of project. Anything is possible if you just put your mind to it. And you could start for $1, or you could. There's people that are doing the I don't know if anybody's seen it, the Hard Fork series, and that looks like they put a lot of money behind that, and it's all exclusive to Steemit. And when I first saw that a couple months back, I was like, wow, like these people see the vision. It's get in now before the mega monster companies come in and see the ton of value in Steemit, and then even people like me won't be able to earn $10. I mean, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but who knows?
Exactly. Well, do people out in the audience have questions for Mr. Viquez? If you do, feel free to post those in the chat right now. Again, you're listening to the Main Event Interviews radio show, which is on MSP-Waves radio. And we'll chat here for a moment with the audience and see who is out there. Poetic Snake, are you still here with me?
I am still here with you.
Okay, cool. And let's see who is out here. I see a bunch of people listening in the Discord server, so that's wonderful. I see Rondon out there, Crystal, Menno, Soundwaves, Bitcoin Paradise, Gmux. Go ahead.
Oh, I said Crystal.
And if you are out there listening, certainly say hello in the chat room. We love hearing from you all. And if you missed, go ahead, sir.
Oh, now I was just trying to answer Menno's question. Yeah, I do know Spanish. I read it and write it 100%. I don't have any more family in Puerto Rico. My last bit of family left when that big hurricane happened, the last one. They're all in the United States, but I have never even been to Puerto Rico.
Well, who knows? Maybe you'll get to go someday, and then you can vlog about it.
Yeah, maybe this year, right?
You never know. I don't know. It's amazing to me that it's January 3rd. We had Steem. I don't even know what the price is right now. I didn't look, but
it's $8.
That's crazy.
Oh my!
And who knows? We might be saying in 6 months from now that was low or that was high. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Once again, this is just my opinion, not financial advice. But the hard fork hasn't come out. SMTs have not been launched with the community. So, in my opinion, I think somebody's just loading up, and obviously, that's what causes the price to rise. Is a bunch of people buying in, and it's risen pretty crazy. It smashed the all-time highs and doubled that. So I think somebody or some companies are just loading up, getting ready for this hard fork. And if you was around, oh yeah, you must have been around for hard fork 19. We
Yep.
remember what happened during that era.
Yeah, I joined in May. So when I joined, the price was at a pretty good. I think it was like $2 or something like that. And then then they did the hard fork, and that was an interesting time as well. And then we've stuck through it when it went all the way back below $1 and everything, and now it's $8. That's amazing. I think and it was only like the end of November or so. It was like somewhere between like 88 and 92 cents or something. And so it's pretty amazing that it's gone from there to here. And then I actually was looking the other day, I think it was yesterday, I looked back at the charts, and a year ago in January of 2016, like January 3rd, 2016 or so, or 2nd, it was like somewhere around 15 or 16 cents. So that means like we've literally gone from 15 cents to now $8 only in one calendar year, which is wild.
Yeah, I think it's definitely insane.
It's just whoa.
Yeah, and it's pretty good, and I think it shines a lot of lights on the platform, and brings a lot more new users. As much we need as much exposure as we can for the community.
Absolutely. And, once they do the next hard fork, supposedly that's going to open it so it's easier for people to join and things like that. I'm not an expert in that, so don't hold me to that, but we'll see what happens. And like you said, the SMTs are coming out this year, supposedly, as well, and all of that stuff. So who knows? This could be the tip of the iceberg or it's the peak. I don't know. We'll have to see. Time will tell.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Time will tell, and you know, I still wouldn't advise anybody to put all their money in, because that's just, crazy. But definitely, take your time to research, and if you're not on Steam, definitely sign up. It's free. It doesn't cost you one penny to sign up, and you know, you might be happy, and who knows what the future will hold for anybody, because you might get involved and venture off into another space in crypto, and that's fine. We just need more and more people involved in the crypto space, to give the power back to the people, which was, Satoshi Nakamoto's uh, vision in the beginning. He saw the banks controlling everything and the government coming in and helping them, even though they fumbled the ball on purpose, you know, and so I really believe that vision will come, and it's gonna cost something, but we're gonna see that happen, hopefully one day in my lifetime.
Time will tell. It'll be interesting to see how blockchain, gets adopted everywhere and into what products and what systems and businesses and all these things. It'll be really interesting to see, is all I can say. And we're along for the ride, So, hodl, as they would say. Hang on for
Yeah,
dear
hodl,
life.
hodl. If you don't need the money, just let it sit there. If it just costs you an hour of your time, and you got paid one Steam buck. We all know that one Steam buck is $10. So people can't really complain too much, and they have $2 posts and $3 posts. That's still some money.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to do it different. So some people are going to want to be investors. Some people are just going to want to post their content. Some people might just want to be curators. Who knows? So everybody's going to use it for different things. And I think, to me personally, that's what makes it awesome, is because if it was one dimensional and it was only used for one thing, I don't see any real growth there. But if it's got all these different things, I mean, it's amazing how all the different things that Steemit and the Steem blockchain can do. So to me personally, and in my opinion, that makes it valuable, and it's valuable to me anyway. So that's all that really matters, I guess, in my opinion. I love my time here, and it's wonderful. I really enjoy it.
And I wanted to point out to what Big Lou was saying when he was on. It's definitely going to attract tons and tons of musicians and artists, because this is like a gold mine to any musician, no matter what he earns. Because I've been rapping and doing music, for almost 15, 16 years now. And, I've Steemit has basically helped me earn the most money out of my music. I've never earned anything like that outside in the real world, in the street, or whatever you want to call it, when it comes to music. So, and it's definitely, inspired me to go back and hit the studio up and finally put out a really great project. And it's gonna be all exclusive for Steemit.
Yeah, no, it and musicians, artists, writers, uh, vloggers, kind of like you're doing, people who like to do videos, and all these types of people who are content creators can all use Steemit for something different. And so it'll be great to see what types of people join and what types of content they bring with them and that they create here on the Steem blockchain. So, yeah, it'll be really fascinating to see how it progresses. Let's check in with the audience once more. If anybody has any more questions for Mr. Viquez, feel free to post those in the chat right now. We'll probably start to wind things down here, as we've only got about 20 minutes left of the show. And if you're sticking around and you're listening to the live show, Saipan Damashi is going to have his show next. And he talks about the electronic dance music scene and does some music and things. So if that's something you're interested in, you can stick around after this show and listen to Saipan. Again, you're listening to the Main Event Interviews radio show here on MSP-Waves Radio. and we're happy to have you here. We're visiting with Mr. Viquez right now, and before that we had Big Lou on the show. I see G-Muck still out in the audience, Rondon, Menno, I see Tiny, Soundwaves Photon, Sir Lunch the host. Great to have you all here. Hoshi Trooper. Let me scroll back. Anybody other names? Of course, Snecky.
Yay! You saw me.
I saw you. Audreu. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Crystal.
Crimson.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right. People are waving. Go ahead, Snick.
I'm waving back. Robin Hood is sharing a love thingy. I don't want to say the word out loud.
All right.
You never know.
PHBR. I don't know how I would say that. So, Wah Phillip. Hey, Wah Phillip. How you doing? Good to see you.
Wah wah.
Yep. Robin Hutt's out there. Angel.
Angel.
Great to have you all here. And if you're listening to the recording of this show on my blog, well, you should join us live next time. We do this show every Wednesday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, or it's 10 to midnight UTC time here on MSP-Waves.com. And you can find a full listing of all the radio shows at MSP-Waves.com. And if you're interested in being a DJ or hosting a show, you can find out about that as well. And we're visiting with Mr. Viquez right now, and you've shared his blog a couple of times here in the chat, so people can certainly find him on Steemit if they're interested. And Mr. Viquez, are there any other things you want to mention while you're here on the show? Any projects you might be planning, or things you might be posting on Steemit, or just any parting words for the audience out there, out in the Steemit community that you want to say before you get going?
Yeah, I got a couple things, under wraps. I'm rather not really talk about too much, but nothing too crazy. But if I could say anything to anyone, if you're feeling like Steam it might not be for you, just keep on, man. It's almost like you're walking home in the snow. It's a whole foot of snow. There's no cars, but you know that if you stop walking, you're gonna freeze to death, and it's not gonna work. You just gotta keep walking, keep on, no matter how hard it gets, and you will get to your destination, whatever your destination is. And that's advice for life. Period. No matter what it is you're trying to get into. And definitely thank you for letting me come on the show, and I appreciate everybody taking the time to listen to both the interviews, and yeah, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, anytime. And of course, you can check out his blog. It's at Mr. Viquez on Steemit, and we shared that in the chat. So if you're interested, you can check that out. Poetic Snake, are there any things you want to mention before we let Mr. Viquez get going here?
Absolutely. I want to say thank you for being here. Very interesting to hear you talk about your Steemit experience so far, and I'm looking forward to everything you're going to do on the platform.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, Mr. Viquez, we'll let you get going here, and we do thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight. It was a pleasure.
All right. Have a good one.
Absolutely. All right. And you can stick around if you want, and we're just going to wind the show down here, and yeah, all you got to do is mute your mic, and you're good to go. Perfect. All right. So, Poetic Snake, what have you thought of the show so far tonight?
I can only say that I loved it. It's so interesting to learn more about the people behind an account. It really is.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun, hearing their voice, just kind of getting to know them a little better, and just learning why they came to Steemit and what they're doing here. And I think it's good for other people to hear it too, because I know for me personally, when I was first starting on Steemit, I was one of those people out there on YouTube, and I was looking for Steemit-based videos to watch, just because I wanted to learn, and I wanted to just hear other people's opinion of what they think of it. And I mean, of course, we sing Steemit's praises a lot on this show, but we've had some criticisms before too. We were doing shows this past summer, when there was a lot of crashes and things like that going on in the website, and through all those problems and things, and so it's not always sunshine and rainbows, as they would say, but
no.
overall though, our experience with the community of Steemit and the Steem blockchain has been very positive, and I'm very, very grateful to have found my way here, not just for the rewards either.
No, absolutely. I like to say that the rewards are amazing, but the friendships are cold.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Or as Scaredy Cat's rap he said, come for the money and stay for the friends. I like that too.
Yes, that's a good one as well. Yes.
Yes. So, it's really interesting to see the different people who are joining us for these shows on our radio show here that we do every week. And it's great to have them all on here. We've had people who were brand new users. We had Big Lou on tonight. He's been on for 20 days. So, that's great. And then we've had people who were witnesses on the show, people who have, thousands of followers, people who have 10 followers. This show is open to anybody, and that's one thing we're proud of. And we hope you have been enjoying these radio shows that we've been doing every week. And let's see who's in the audience chatting right now. G-Mux, thank you for the appreciation, sir. We really appreciate everything you do as well. And again, G-Mux has just become a witness, he said. So, again, anybody out there who's on Steemit, and if you haven't voted for any witnesses, you should certainly do your research about them and find the ones you like and give them a vote, because you can vote up to 30 different witnesses on Steemit. So that's not something we had talked about too often on the show. We probably should a little bit more often, because the witnesses do a lot of hard work, and they've had to put a lot of time in to get their systems up and running and everything. So we do appreciate the work they do. So thank you to the witnesses out there. Menno says he voted for himself as a witness. He says even though he's not a witness.
That's a possibility.
I should do that too, just to do it. That's kind of funny. Is it even possible?
I don't know.
I guess it is. That's funny.
We have to try that out.
But no, there's many witnesses here in the Minnow Support Project that do a great job, and if you want to look into them, you certainly could. And all of them that do the work and actually have community projects that they work on and things that they do, I think that's really great. And of course, if you're listening to this and you haven't found your way into the Minnow Support Project yet, you should certainly look into it, in our opinion. You can find it on Steemit. It's at Minnow Support, all one word. And then they have a link on there that will send you to the Discord server here, which is the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord. And that houses within it the Minnow Support Project and all of the various chat rooms and voice chat rooms and places like that where you can get to know other minnows, you can network with them, learn, and just make some friends. Poetic Snake and I became friends because of the Minnow Support Project.
Yeah, we did.
And I know many other people have made close friendships through Minnow Support and the other Discord groups. And there's lots of them, as we mentioned earlier on the show. There's dozens now. So, you're not limited to one server or anything like that, of course.
But it keeps growing.
Yeah, and we do encourage everybody to definitely check out the Minnow Support Project first, though, absolutely, because it's a great place for the newer members to come and learn and network and chat. And once you get the basis of all of that, then you can start branching out into other groups, I feel like. Because that was kind of my journey, and it worked out really well for me. So from my personal opinion and experience, that process seemed to have worked. So, I can only give my experience, but it worked for me. So.
Yeah, after I joined Val, things changed for me as well, even though I was here a lot longer on the platform before that. So it's really a place where you can connect with like-minded people, and also if you're new to the platform, you can find the help you need and grow.
Absolutely. And yeah, there's dozens of others. I can't even list them all right now because there's so many that are some of them are based on different topics, like different content. Some of them are geographical, so it might be based on your location. Some of them are individual users on Steemit. They've created servers and things like that on Discord for chatting. So, yeah, there's a wide variety of them out there. And just keep an eye when you're reading people's Steemit blogs. They might have links to their Discord servers that they're in. And so that's a cool thing to keep an eye out for, because you never know who you're going to interact with next that could lead you to the next part of your Steemit journey. You know,
Absolutely.
I remember hearing about this radio station just through a post, and if I hadn't seen that post, I wouldn't be doing this show right now. So, you know, it's you never know what you're going to find or what's going to happen while you're on Steemit. And so keep an open mind, I guess is what I would say. And again, try not to get discouraged. If you do, take a break. Come back, you know, when you're a little more refreshed and things. But keep an open mind. Try to be helpful to other people. And, you know, you should just do that in life in general, in my opinion.
Yes.
And that's one great thing about the Steemit community is people seem to be more genuine on here. I mean, of course, you're always going to have trolls. You're always going to have a few people who are trying to just cause trouble or whatever. But they seem to be much more few and far between on Steemit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't see as many as on other, you know, platforms, social media and stuff.
Yeah. I guess it's probably because there's really no benefit to it. I mean, if you're a jerk on the platform, you're probably just going to get flagged or something, you know? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem very beneficial to be rude and a jerk on Steemit.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, here you will just get the whole community sending you little lovely red flags if you go too far.
And again, everybody, you're hanging out with Main Event and Poetic Snake here on the Main Event Interviews radio show, which does air on MSP-Waves. And we've got about 10 minutes left of the show here, so we're going to start to wind things down. And if you're interested in being on the show as a guest sometime, all you have to do is send me a message, Main Event or Poetic Snake, on either Discord or Steemit.chat, either one. I do check them both, and so you can send us a message and let us know that you want to be on the show, and we'll try to schedule an interview with you. You know, it is possible to do a pre-recorded interview if you absolutely couldn't be here at a certain time, but we do try to make them live as much as possible, because I think it's a lot more fun to interact with the audience and things.
I agree with you.
And again, yeah, just send us a message if you're interested in being on the show. We open it up to anybody. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a brand new user. People always say to me, "Well, I don't have anything interesting to talk about." And it's like, well, just talk about you. You know, you're interesting.
Yes.
Everybody's interesting. Everybody's story is different, and I love hearing it and finding out why people joined.
No story is the same, so you know it's always interesting to hear. No matter how small the journey is or how long.
And then a few people do get bashful. They just don't want to talk.
I know the feeling.
Nothing to be shy about. I don't think it's so bad.
No, I don't think the show is bad at all. Joining us is just, it's amazing. It's marvelous.
So yes, if you're out there and you're interested in joining us on the show sometime, certainly let us know. And it's always great too if you've got a project you're working on, as I mentioned before, or if you're a witness or whatever, or a community leader or whatnot, you want to join us and talk about your project, that's great too. And we're not, we don't directly affiliate with anyone. We try to hang out with everybody here on the platform, and again, this show's open to anybody, so feel free to let us know and you can be on the show.
I would love to have everybody on the show.
We've had quite a few.
That?
We could sometime we could do like some quick little things. But I do like having the longer conversations with people. I think that's more fun. We also do, once in a while, I'll do a live stream on my own personal Twitch channel, and those ones sometimes are a little more casual and things like that. But these interview shows, I try to get somebody on so they can come on here and really tell their story, and I think that's a lot of fun.
It is, absolutely.
So, everybody, well, we really appreciate you all tuning in tonight. Again, this show does air every Wednesday from 5 to 7 Eastern Time, which is 10 to midnight UTC time, on MSP-Waves Radio. I see Wa Phillip in the audience, Tiny, G-Mux, Menno, Big Lou still here, who was our first guest on the show tonight. Iridium Dawn is out there. You know, I have a face for radio too, and that's why I do radio. Everybody always used to ask me, you know, when I was doing radio stuff, why don't you do TV? It's like, I don't want my face on there. I don't think that's necessary. So I've done radio for a long time. I've worked in radio for over 10 years, and so I can say that. I have a face for radio.
I don't know yet.
Big Lou says he's got to run. Take care, Big Lou. We really appreciate you being on the show tonight. Again, he was our first guest on the show, so thank you so much to Big Lou for joining us.
Thank you, Big Lou.
And if you missed either of the interviews tonight, I will be posting them tonight on my Steemit blog. I always do a little show recap post every week, so if you're interested in, you know, if you want to support the show, show us some love, you can give that a re-steam and leave a comment. That would be wonderful. And let's go ahead and share our blogs now, Sneck, if you want. Go ahead and share yours.
Okay.
And, you know, a little selfish plug here real quick. But yeah, no, I try to do a post on my blog after the show. So if you are not a follower, that would be wonderful if you want to do that. And of course, there's Poetic Snakes as well. And yeah, we appreciate you all joining us. It's always a pleasure to do this show with you every week. And we really, really appreciate the support you give us and just, you know, being here in the audience. That means a lot. And it's a pleasure to do these shows with you.
Absolutely. Thank you all for being with us.
Poetic Snake, are there any things you want to mention or anything before we get going? Anything you got going on in the next week or so? You're doing your curation.
Yes, keep an eye out for Snacky. She's going to snack people the whole month. And I really enjoy doing that, giving back to the community after, you know, not deserving, but I think everybody deserves to be seen. And this is a way for me to, you know, see people, and I really enjoy it.
All right, so Menno, if you're listening out there, I just sent you a little message in the little handover room, so you'll know when I'm going to end here. All right, so we got 3 minutes left here, so we're in the final countdown. Again, thank you.
Countdown starting now.
Yes, thank you again, everybody, for listening. We'll run through everything again here. Of course, MSP-Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by myself or my guests on the show. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and of course, all of the material you hear on this show is for educational and informational purposes only. These are strictly our opinions only. We are not experts of anything, so always do your own research. This is all strictly just our opinions and for entertainment purposes only. So, again, this is aired on MSP-Waves.com. You can find a full listing of all the radio shows, which are all hosted by members of the Steemit community. You can find that on MSP-Waves.com or on Steemit. It's MSP-Waves, which, of course, is a part of the Minnow Support Project. You can find out more about that at Minnow Support on Steemit. It's a great community for all of you to join if you're interested in chatting and learning and networking with each other. And you can find it on Discord in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server. And again, that's the Minnow Support Project. Up next on MSP Waves is Saipan Damashi. He's going to be doing his EDM show. So if you're interested in that, stick around. His show is coming up at the top of the hour. And if you're listening to the recording of this on my Steemit blog or on YouTube, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. And, of course, a little like or a thumbs up is always appreciated. Snack, do you want to say your last goodbyes?
Yes. Thank you guys for being here. Make 2018 amazing. Keep steaming.
Absolutely. So again, everybody, Saipan's show is coming up next on MSP-Waves, and we do this show every Wednesday night. It's 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern, 10 to midnight UTC. You can find out more at MSP-Waves.com. And if you're interested in being a guest on the show, you can send a message to Main Event or Poetic Snake through Discord or Steemit.chat. All right, we're in the final seconds here, so thank you all for listening. We will see you next week when we'll have a couple of new guests and maybe a few surprises too. We'll see. Have a great night, everybody. This is Main Event and Poetic Snake signing off. We'll see you next time.